So you're looking to buy or sell your house. You might be wondering about closing costs, right? How much does this cost me? I'm here today. I'm going to break this down for you. We're going to talk about the closing costs when you are buying a home. We're also going to talk about the closing costs when you are selling your home. Hi, I'm Lisa Palladino with Focus Real Estate. And as mentioned, we're going to talk about closing costs today. Super fun topic, I know, but very important. And it obviously comes up every time people are thinking about buying or selling real estate. For the purposes of this video today, we're going to start with a buying example. So you are looking to buy a house, and I'm going to break down those closing costs for you so it makes a little bit more sense. Now, our brokerage focuses on the Central Park neighborhood of Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to use a home example from our area of expertise. A typical single-family home in this neighborhood is going to cost, anywhere from $600,000 to $800,000, but we're going to use $800,000 home for the purposes of these numbers. So when you're the buyer, you can anticipate anywhere from about 1 to 1.5% closing costs on an $800,000 home purchase. So that's going to be around $8,000 to $12,000 in addition to that $800,000 house. So keep that in mind. I know it sounds like a big number, but again, let's break it down, okay? We're going to start kind of from the biggest chunk of that closing cost for the buy side. And that's going to be all of your fees wrapped up into your mortgage, right? Associated with purchasing your home mortgage. The largest chunk of that is going to be your taxes, which go into an escrow account, as well as your home insurance, okay? And so your mortgage company is going to set aside this money for you. So even though you're paying it, it's really helping you out in the long run, because in Colorado, we pay our taxes in arrears. So this is going to help you out for the next year when all of your property taxes are due. So continuing along with our lender fees, right? After your property taxes and your insurance, there's some loan origination fees, just document recording fees. There's a fee to pull your credit report. So there's a few various other fees that are going to be from your lender, okay? So again, working from biggest fee to smallest fee, our next one is going to be the private transfer fee, which is, it's not completely unique to neighborhoods in general, but our neighborhood has this private transfer fee. Some do, some don't. We're lucky to have it. And they collect this on every single transaction, whether you buy and sell. So it is a negotiable fee. Your realtor can help you out with that. But oftentimes, and for the purposes of this video, I'm going to say that the buyer is paying this fee. We are in a seller's market right now. So again, we're typically seeing the buyers paying that fee in order to sweeten the deal. And so how the private transfer fee is calculated is it's the purchase price, okay? So this $800,000 home, you're going to subtract $100,000, so $700,000. Then it's times 0.0025, which will get you to your private transfer fee, okay? Every now and again, that fee can be split 50-50, but again, typically the buyer has been paying it recently. Okay, the next fee after private transfer fee, again, just kind of going down the list, is your appraisal. So as the buyer, you have to pay for a home appraisal. Your lender orders that home appraisal. And so that's usually anywhere from $500 to $800. It just completely depends. And that's going to be on your closing disclosure, a fee from your lender. And then finally, we get into some of the smaller fees when you're purchasing a home. So it's going to be your HOA fees. There's a few transfer fees. There's a working capital fee that you will pay into the neighborhood's homeowners association. And you'll also pay 2 months HOA payments up front, right? So they just want to make sure that you have that covered. And so you don't actually physically write a check for your HOA until the 3rd month that you've lived in the home. And then finally, there's a couple fees associated with the title company. So in Colorado, we use title companies. Some states use attorneys. We use basically title companies with notaries. And there's a fee associated to close that deal, okay? And typically it's around $350 to $400. And that's oftentimes split 50-50 between the buyer and the seller. So keep that in mind, you'll have that as well. So those are most of the buyer closing costs. Again, around 1%, 1.5% of the purchase price of your home. I hope that helps. Now let's talk about the sell side, right? So you're looking to sell your home and you're wondering how much it's going to cost you. So on average, when you sell a house with a realtor, it's going to cost about 6 to 6.5%, at least when you're using our brokerage, Focus Real Estate. There's some links below in this video as well that are going to explain to you exactly what we charge and what you get for that. But again, so 6 to 6.5% total in closing costs. And then the largest chunk of that is going to be your realtor fees. So at Focus Real Estate, we charge about 4 to 4.5%. This depends on your situation. After realtor fees, your next biggest chunk as a seller is your property taxes. So again, I mentioned this on the buying side, but in Colorado, we pay our property taxes in arrears. So it's 2021. Your taxes are going to be due April of 2022 for 2021. So as a seller, you will pay money to the buyer of your home for the period of time you lived in the house this year in 2021, okay? So that's oftentimes, a bigger chunk of money. So realtor fees, property taxes. The next largest chunk that we see is title insurance, right? And so as a seller, oftentimes, not always, it is negotiable, but oftentimes the seller pays the buyer's title insurance. And title insurance just protects the title. It ensures that the seller is truly the seller, that there's no unpaid bills on the home, and so you have to offer that protection to the buyer. So that's a larger fee as well. And then moving down, there are some HOA-related fees, right? And so again, there is status fees, record fees, change fees. There is that private transfer fee, which we discussed when you were on the buy side. Oftentimes the buyer's picking that fee up. Every now and again, that fee can be split 50-50. So just be aware, it would be in your contract and you would know if you were picking up some or all or none of that private transfer fee. And then finally, just some basic closing costs. So there, again, we talked about it on the buying side. There is a closing cost to close this transaction, right? So we enlist these companies to help us do this. In other states, it's attorneys. We use notaries here in Colorado. It's about $350 to $400, typically split 50-50. And then finally, right, we have a loan to pay off oftentimes. So with this $800,000 house, you might owe $400,000, right? So you pay that off. Your closing fees will come out of the top of that $400,000, and then whatever is left gets you your net proceeds. Okay, guys, so a lot of numbers, a lot of information, right? I don't know how glamorous that is to talk about closing costs, but it's serious, and I know everyone is curious how they work. So hopefully that was helpful to you. You don't have to remember that all, though. As realtors, we provide our clients with what's called a mock settlement statement from the title company, and this is going to list out all of those fees. You can get it whether you're on the buying side or the selling side. Your lender will also provide you by law 3 days before closing with a closing disclosure, again, laying out every single fee. So by the time you're ready to either buy your home or sign your deed over to a new buyer, you know everything that you're paying. It's crystal clear. Hopefully this video was helpful. We're trying to do these videos for everybody. Some of them talk, with the nuts and bolts of real estate. Some of them talk about our great neighborhood, but we hope you enjoyed it. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to our page, and of course, call me, Lisa Palladino with Focus Real Estate, 303-564-3734 if you're interested in buying or selling.